Hi guys, Jason from JVA Carpi Adventures, and this week I've got something you just wouldn't expect, and I have got a very good reason for it, and I'm going to explain as to why. So this week's vlog has got, well, I say it's got nothing to do with fishing, but actually it has. Now, last year I hurt my back, got a chest infection. I was ill for a good 3 weeks solid and couldn't go fishing. Now, fishing is my safe haven. It's my place to get away from everything, have my own headspace, deal with things that have gone on during the week. So not being able to go out, it was a strain, I've got to be honest. And I'm gonna let you know about what I've done to deal with those sort of situations, basically. Now, I'm not going to bore you to death. Well, I might bore you to death, but I try not to bore you to death. So I needed to find another hobby. So me and my best mate Matt, rolling up towards Christmas, were talking about 3D printers. So I decided to take the plunge and buy myself a 3D printer after investigating into them a little bit and realising they're not quite as expensive as I thought they were. I decided to buy myself a 3D printer. So I bought myself an Elegoo Neptune 3 Plus. Now that's just, it's called an FDM printer, but don't worry about that. I'm not here to give you all the technical blurb or anything like that. I'm here to explain something. But it's a 3D printer which has a large footprint, which allows me to make larger stuff. And I did have stuff in mind that I wanted to print. I was interested in printing. So I'm a huge fan of Marvel, especially Spider-Man, but also Star Wars, and I also love Mandalorian. So Mandalorian helmet was one of the first things I wanted to print. But it doesn't start there. It starts when you get your device, you've got to print out the test prints. And I'm going to show you my very first test print was this. Cheeky little Buddha. And it came out beautifully. I was like, how has it come out that good? And it came out beautifully, guys. So after this, I made a tricolour one for Emma, which is about 4 times bigger than this, which she loves. Then after that, I had a model to make for my son for Christmas, which I did have some problems with because I didn't understand that you needed supports and all this sort of thing for doing printing. But I persevered, I made up a base for it, and I made an absolutely fantastic print for my son, which he absolutely loved. So happy days. After that, it moved to my Mandalorian helmet, which didn't go so well. In fact, it failed terribly. I had spaghetti string everywhere. So I had to try and figure out, and I felt it was too small, so I made it bigger and set it off again on with the other half of the roll. So I knew it was going to run out halfway, but I was just testing the waters. So I'm going to show you a few little pictures here of how it went. So when it ran out, I changed it over to black and then continued printing it. And it printed really well, really well. So I was well surprised. I was like, whoa, my first complete print, that's big, and came out fantastic. Obviously it was in 2 colours. With all 3D printing, you do get lines on them because the 3D prints are made up in lines, guys. It's different layers. So you're always going to get lines on them. So when you want to make something to look smooth, you've got to sand it down, then put filler on it, then primer on it, then maybe sand it more and more filler, and it's a long process, guys. I'm going to show you a few little pictures here. First coat of primer filler on. The purpose of the primer and filler is to basically show up all the different imperfections, show me where I need to add proper filler, and the easiest one is that seam here. I did sand it, but you can see it all the way. So by putting the primer and filler, it shows you everything that you need to work on. So that's why I was keen to get one layer on today, because it will show you, you can see all the lines in here. So there's plenty of work to be done. But that's the purpose of the primer filler, to show you where the problems are. Well, you know what it's like when you start putting filler. You can't stop, can you? Okay, now I've just put filler all over it. But at least when I sand it tomorrow, everything's going to be smooth and ready for another coat of primer. And the bits here don't need doing because there's ears that go in there. Well, that's it. The Mando mask is sanded and primed. ready for the black. It's looking pretty smooth. I think I'm happy enough with that. What you will see on both sides, as per the pictures, is that's my thumbprint, but that doesn't matter because there's actually panels that go over that, so that's why they're not finished properly. But the rest of it is looking pretty good. All right, people, here we go. The intermediary stage between being a black Mandalorian helmet and what will be a chrome Mandalorian helmet. Can't spin it all the way around, obviously. Not too easy, but there you go. Lets you know what it looks like. I am happy with it. That is going to look great. Right, starting at the back, I will show you how the Mandalorian helmet is looking now that the vent's on and the ears are on. So the only bit left is the visor, which is going to go on tomorrow. That's it. Mandalorian helmet. Looking pretty good. But that very first Mandalorian helmet took me absolutely ages to do. Really did take me ages to do, guys. I'm not going to lie. And in the meantime of doing that, I decided, well, my next best thing, it's got to be a Spider-Man helmet. So I made that. And oh my God, that looks amazing. Somehow, you haven't really got no layer lines in the top. Normally the top is always a bit messed up. Look at that. That is sick. My first completed helmet. I have started the Mandalorian before doing the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but this is the one I have completed first. And I've got to be honest, very happy with it. I was amazed I was able to print the mesh lenses actually. So yeah, very happy with that. And I made that one too small. So I ended up selling it. So I don't have it here to show you today, but I can show you some lovely pictures. And it came out really nice, guys. I've got to be honest. Looking at it on the bed of the printer for the first time was amazing. I was like, I can't believe how good this has come out. And that one didn't take a lot of work. It was simply a case of gluing the eyes together, gluing some magnets into it, and painting where the lines are. So that was simple. Looks fantastic. Sorry, I forgot. At Christmas, I have a beautiful little niece called Selena, and I decided to make her some Crocs. Now, the filament, most filament that goes in a 3D printer is called PLA, but this filament is called TPU because it flexes. So unlike hard plastic, this flexes, and it's actually got a really nice cushioned bed in here. So I made my little niece a pair of these with a load of Paw Patrol characters that can pop into it and all the rest, and she loved them also. So I forgot about that, sorry guys. So then the Spider-Man mask came out, brilliant, and I was really getting into the 3D printing. So I'd found another hobby, guys, and that's the point here. I'd found another hobby that I'd really liked. So I've done loads of work getting the Mandalorian helmet, but it's too big for me. So this is one of the things, trying to get the right head size for either your helmet or your mask. It's an effort, guys. The Spider-Man one I made too small, so I ended up having to sell it. The Mandalorian mask that I'm going to show you now I've made too big, so I'm going to have to sell it. I've also made a Wolverine mask, but this was actually because the guy I sewed the Spider-Man mask to, he wanted a Wolverine mask. So I said I would do it for him. So I'm going to show you just a couple of the masks now, guys. If you are interested in this sort of thing, feel free to send me a comment. I am enjoying it, and you know, that's really the point of this video, is just say, look guys, There will be times when you can't go fishing or you can't do something fishing related, and for your own mental health and well-being, it's good if you've got another avenue, another hobby or something else you can pour your interest into. Me, I need to be doing something all the time, guys. I'm a nightmare. I very rarely sit down and relax. I am always doing something. So let me click off for now, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a tour of my 3D print workstation area, and also some of the 3D prints I've done or that I'm doing, and I'll explain what they are along the way. Alright guys, so first off I will just show you the Mandalorian mask. Now this one I did make, which was too big for me, so I am going to have to sell this, but it did come out really nice, and I'm really happy with it, if I'm honest, with the old vents at the back. So there you go. Now the one I had to make for someone else is this one. So I've done the Wolverine, obviously multiple colour, different filaments, and that's also come out quite nice, guys. So yeah, quite enjoying it, I've got to be honest. So there's two of them. The Spider-Man one would have been the best one to show you guys, because that really did come out well, but happy with both of them. Let's show you my first printer now. Alright guys, well as you probably may have gathered, I've actually got two printers now, but I'll get onto that in a minute. So this one that I've put inside a closure was my very first printer, and I've only had it like literally 2 months. It's an Elegoo Neptune 3 Plus, and the Plus is the size of this bit. This is your print bed area, and this is a very large print area which allows me to print masks and helmets in one piece, so I don't have to glue them together. So you know, it really does serve its purpose, and it's a fantastic machine. And as you've seen, I've had some absolutely great prints out of it, and I would never get rid of it. It's such a good machine. But I have gone and upgraded, so let's show you that. So I have upgraded to this. Now this is a brand new machine that's only just come out. It's called an Anycubic Cobra S1, and this is a combo, meaning you have the option of up to 4 colours with a separate unit. Now at the minute I'm printing something called a lithograph, and that's essentially when you print a photograph out, it looks very bland and boring until you put a light behind it, and then it looks fantastic, guys. I'm going to show you a little one now that I just done for Emma, which is just me and Emma, and it's not the quality that this one is because it wasn't done on this printer. So as you can also probably tell, guys, this one is quite loud and noisy. Here we go. Look, my very first print on this machine, guys. It's called a Benchy. It's one of those test prints, and I'll be honest, it did come out really well. Really happy with the quality of this. So that can live up there. But now we come to this, guys. So this is actually going to be my Mandalorian helmet. It is greatly smaller than the other one. As you can see, it's not finished, hence why it's sitting on my to be done shelf. Now the next one I'm doing is an Iron Man mask, guys. I'm going to show you some pictures where I assembled it. Glued it, but this one is something special, guys. If you look over here, there's a load of electrics and all. Sorry there's no lighting. And what this will do is this faceplate will move up over the mask, and then when it shuts, it will have lights in here, which are actually these ones here, guys. I did have some, and I thought they were bendy. Tried bending them, and they broke. So I've got to replace them with these ones, which do actually bend. What else we got down here? We've got the Iron Man box print that I'm doing, where the hand is coming out. We've got some Pokemon holders. We've got a Coke can. I'm going to show you images of these, guys. Oh my god, I didn't actually realise some of the lights I bought were RGB, meaning they change colour. Oh my God, that only makes this look a whole lot better. Look at that. Oh yes, I am loving the red. Happy days. It looks so good. Just a Coke can, look at that. But yeah, you think you can pour some money into fishing? This is now the corner of my front room, guys. So yeah, you can pour some money into 3D printing as well. Right, let's get back to the other room. Alright guys, well the real reason for this video isn't to show you some of the cool 3D prints that I've done. It's literally to let you guys know, look, we all struggle at times, and for me, not being able to do something I love, like fishing, was a struggle. And I did need to find something else to put my energy into, my time into. And for me, it's been 3D printing. You know, I do get excited when I talk about it. I do think about new projects. I am coming up with new stuff to do all the time. I've had to relearn different various softwares, including I have made some items myself that I've designed from the beginning. So it's given me another avenue, another interest, something else that sparks my fire, if you like, guys. And that's all I'm trying to say, guys. You know, your mental well-being is important, and if keeping busy, like I need to, is something you need to do, then find yourself another hobby. I'm not saying go into 3D printing or do whatever. I'm saying find something else that you feel passionate about that will keep you busy and keep you active. I think it also helps doing something like this, something where you make stuff. I love making stuff. If you've seen my vlogs, you will have seen, you know, I made the para barrel, I moved the forks forward, welded it, made my own basket for the battery holder and stuff like that. I've always loved making stuff, guys. I always need to be busy. And those 3 weeks when I couldn't be busy, you know, I'd kind of done a double trouble. I'd put my back out, which meant I wasn't manoeuvrability very well. Manoeuvrability? Is that even a word? I wasn't moving around too well. And I was feeling awful. I had a really bad chest infection. And you know, I wasn't in the best place at the time. So having something like this that you can do when you can't go fishing, or when you're at home and, you know, it's not an option, I think it's a good idea, guys. So I just thought I'd let you know what else I do when I'm not fishing. If any of you have any queries or you'd like to know any more, feel free to get in touch. I am going to be selling the odd thing on eBay, possibly, guys. For example, that Mandalorian helmet that's next to me, it's way too big for me. It's absolutely huge. Unfortunately, I made it like 110%, and yeah, 102% would have been perfect. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to sell that, which is a shame because I put a lot of work into that and it looks fantastic. But I'm making another one, aren't I, guys? So it's going to be all right. All right, guys. Well, look, sorry if you tuned in today hoping to find a fishing vlog of some great adventure of mine, but this is all part of what makes me who I am. You know, fishing has been my life for probably about 10 years, to be fair, and I know guys have done it all their lives. Well, I haven't. You know, I've only been into fishing probably the last 10 years of my life, but I have been into it 100%. But I've kind of found sometimes you need to have something else to do, and being able to do the 3D printing is that for me. It's something else for me to focus on, and obviously now I'm producing things that I might actually end up selling and that sort of thing. So yeah, if you're interested, guys, feel free to get in touch. You can ask me any questions you like. I'm no expert on 3D printing, so please, if you've got 3D printing troubles or queries, I'm definitely not your man. I'm on plenty of forums that have helped me out left, right and centre for any problems I've had. But if you have any queries about things you can or can't do, or, you know, what I'm going to be selling, what I'm not going to be selling, feel free to drop me a line and ask me the question. All right, guys, well, I'm sorry it's not been a fishing vlog this weekend, but today is my birthday, because this is going to be coming out on March the 14th, and that's my birthday. So I did want to do something that I felt passionate about this week, guys, and that really is just to let you guys know, make sure you give yourself something else to do other than fishing if it's something you can't do all the time. And I don't want you being down or depressed or anything like that because you can't go fishing all the time. Give yourself something else that you can do and keep your mind active, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay fishing, or 3D printing.